Ever find yourself just stuck, worrying, spinning up all these worst-case scenarios, and your brain just won't quit? Well, turns out there's a deep, evolutionary reason for that. And today, we're going to dive right into the ancient architecture of our own anxiety to figure it out.
I mean, really, why is it so ridiculously hard to just turn your brain off? You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like 3 in the morning, your mind is just racing, and you're telling it to please, please stop. But it's like an engine that just refuses to shut down. What is going on there?
Okay, so here's the thing, and this is a big one. That constant overthinking, it is not a personal failing. You're not broken. It's actually an ancient feature of your brain's operating system. A feature, though, that was designed for a totally different world than the one we live in now.
So to really get this, we've got to go way back. I'm talking prehistoric times. Because for our ancestors, this little mental habit of ours wasn't a source of modern-day stress. Nope. It was a powerful life-saving tool.
Just try to picture it. You're an early human. Dangers are literally everywhere. The key to not getting eaten isn't just about being strong or fast. Nope. The real game changer was being able to think ahead, to anticipate threats. This was their superpower, the ability to imagine all the bad stuff that could happen and then make a plan to avoid it.
And it worked through this really simple but super effective loop. Think about it. Step 1, you hear a rustle in the grass. Step 2, your brain doesn't think, oh, maybe it's the wind. No way. It immediately simulates the absolute worst-case scenario, predator. And that triggers step 3. You take action. You run, you hide, you do whatever you have to do. And because you acted on that imagined threat, step 4, you survive.
And this right here, this is absolutely crucial. The ancestor who freaked out about the rustle in the grass, they survived. They got to pass on their worry-wart genes. The one who was super chill and just dismissed it, well, they probably became lunch. See, imagining the worst wasn't a bug. It was a feature. A life-saving, honest-to-goodness feature.
Okay, so if this system is so great for survival, why does it make us feel so miserable today? That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, the problem isn't the system. It's the world we're trying to run it in.
The best way to think about it is like this. Our brains are the hardware, right? But the software we're running, that threat detection program, is ancient. It's prehistoric. And we're trying to run this Stone Age software in our hyper-modern 21st century world. The result? A massive, massive mismatch between our programming and our day-to-day reality.
Let's break that down. Back then, threats were, well, they were real. They were right in front of you. A lion shows up, you either fight it or you run away. Either way, the threat is over. It's resolved. And that threat simulation in your brain can shut down. But today, our threats are abstract. They're things like work deadlines or social anxiety, or just that mountain of emails in your inbox. And you can't exactly fight or run away from your inbox, can you?
And this brings us to the real problem. What happens when you have a threat detection system that's built for problems you can solve, but you feed it problems that you can't? Well, you get an engine that basically has no off switch.
Because there's no physical danger to fight or flee from, that threat anticipation machine in our heads just keeps running. It's scanning the horizon for a lion, but all it finds are these vague modern worries. So what does it do? It just simulates one scenario, then another, and another, stuck in this endless, exhausting loop. And that is exactly what it feels like to be trapped in your own head.
So this gives us a completely new way to define overthinking. It's not some random brain glitch. It's the perfectly logical result of an ancient survival tool that just keeps running and running because the threats it's dealing with never really get resolved. It's a feature, not a bug, just one that's working in an environment it was never ever designed for. And really, if you take away one thing from all this, let it be this. Your brain isn't broken. Not at all. The anxiety and the worry you feel, that's just your brain doing its ancient job, and frankly, doing it a little too well for the world we live in today.
So that leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on, doesn't it? If anxiety isn't some bug that needs to be squashed, but an ancient, overactive feature, how do we start to relate to it differently? How does that change the conversation you have with your own mind? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.